Hello there, folks. This is Will, K-Mac Vintage. I'm back this morning. It is Monday, May 19th. Today's a public holiday in Cayman, but holidays to me don't matter. I'm cleaning up my work area here a little bit, so bear with me here. Bright and early this Monday morning. It is 8:14, 8:15, and I'm gonna continue working on this board, this SE30 Reloaded for Brian, the one that I started last night. Um, as you can see, I've done quite a bit already. Now you can see it better from this view. So I'm going to continue with these 1, 2, 3, 4 bigger PLCs. Then I'll go do the FPU. The 3 small ones I'm going to socket. So I'll show you my new method of putting on the sockets without having to cut out the inside. But I won't do those before I do the CPU socket, because the CPU socket is a bit lower. But anyway, let's jump right to it. I'm not gonna waste too much time. I'm gonna need some. I still got some in there. I will need some more flux soon. Move that stuff out of the way there. Okay, all right. Situate myself here, and here we go. Which one are we doing? We're doing the swim. And let's go for the swim. There we go. That goes right there. And Lilo just walked in. There we are. So before we put that on, let's see how the chip itself looks. Got some greenery there on some of these legs. So we're definitely gonna try to clean that up. Okay, now my soldering iron is at 390. Again, I like to use a pretty warm, pretty hot iron. And you see me rubbing it here because this is where the green was. Let me give you a better focus. You can see how much that green came off. And all that brown is the old gunk. Okay. I'm gonna flux it up some more there. I would say that cleaned up pretty well. I think this was the bad side. A lot more of that will clean off in the ultrasonic cleaner. Okay. And the trash can getting full. All right, let's put it on. Let me put the flux down on the board. And this one's orientation is that way. And the notch is here, so the notch. Drop it on there and get to one corner. Okay, and here we go. First soldering in the morning. And that's the side that was so dirty. Sorry about that, folks. And one more person coming to my mother's house to see about the work that needs to get done. And I got a meet in a few minutes, and okay, that's that all on. How's your focus? Your focus a little bit out. There you go. Okay. I'm just checking to see my solder work there. Oh, I see a bridge right there. Okay. Gone. All right, next chip, SCSI. Let's see how that looks. A little bit of cleaning too. Well, we know what the routine is. Let it bubble. Let that sucker bubble. Let it bubble and do its magic. See, all the gunk just flies off. Though the other sides don't look so bad, I'm still gonna try to just lower their high points. Well, let's give this a little brushing and see. And look how nice that inside cleaned. Oh my, that cleaned out very well. Can't even tell where the bad side was. I think it was here and here. Okay, we can put this one on. After that, I'll have to pause the recording, go meet this person. And orientation of this chip is also down corner over here. I think this board will fire up on the first go. Okay. No bridges, everything looks connected. Tomorrow I'm already shipping back out. two of the boards that I brought for repairs. A lot of this will clean with the ultrasonic cleaner. And this is one of the reasons why I let my boards soak for a while in the hot water. Is that it? Did I do all four sides? Yeah. Oh, okay. All four sides done already. I want to brush this one and see how it's cleaned up. Matter of fact, I'm brushing the whole board. All right, I brushed the whole board. Get some of that flux off. Okay, I need to get a new roll of paper towels. All right, so before I have to run out, because I'm going to pause the video and then go do my thing and then I'll come back. In the meantime, here's what the board looks like now. We did these two chips just now. All right, so when I come back, then we'll do these other two and the FPU. Then we'll go to the CPU socket, put that in because that's the very low item. Then we'll do these three PLC sockets that I'll show you the method I use. It's not my method. I did not, it's just the way people do it. Just recently, some people confirmed to me that it works. I had intentions of trying it. I had ideas that it would work, but I just never did it. It's one of those things when you get into a comfort zone of a way of doing something, but it could solve some of my problems that I'm having by using sockets. So anyway, I'll be back, okay? Okay, folks, I've come back. Go back to the scope camera here and keep on working. I cleaned the board a little bit, but it's still sticky. At least a lot of the flux that was on it is gone. The backside is a bit sticky, but most of that will come off later. Where are we? We are now on the SCSI chip. Oh, sorry, this is the SCC. Let's take a look and see how that looks. I'm not expecting this one to be in bad shape. No, this one's pretty good. All right, we'll go ahead and put this one back on. I know you can't see me putting the flux on, but so I was just reading some comments that my friend Mark left about this board that I'm working on here, and I gotta say it's only Mark would actually think of this stuff. So this is a revision 3 board, and I'm using Stereo Flux version 3. He says I cannot use version 5 on a version 3 board. They're not compatible. Ay, ay, ay. Only Mark. Thanks, Mark. Appreciate it. I like to see what it does to it. I gotta wait for my soldering iron to warm up. Get back up to its temp of 390. Okay, there we are. So my next trip up to Florida is probably gonna be October. Maybe September. I like to go October because it's my son's birthday. So, but I've got people lining up already to send me more boards and that, and to have them wait until then. And I'm also waiting to get the updated board design from Bowl. Um, our team member and my friend Joakim from Sweden asked him to make a change for me. And it's a very practical, good change. And he did it. I mean, I saw pictures of the design of it, but he hasn't released it yet. And I'm hoping he does. Max, I did the 2CI board, also made the same change on his board design, and I already have that, but I haven't ordered it yet because I still have 2CI boards. That's a big board and expensive to buy. They come out to like $80 a board. But granted, that already has all the birdseed stuff on the bottom, except for 2 items that you need to move over. I did a 475 reloaded before I left. I did not do a video on it because I wasn't sure how that was going to turn out. But you know what? I should have better confidence in my abilities, right? Okay, this one has a little bit of green here that I want to get rid of. Let me go get a roll of paper towels. I need that. Hold on. All right, I wanted a roll of paper towels because I use that. I'm gonna start boiling. There you go. There you go. You can see the bubbles just coming out and the gunk. All right, I see a little bit more green over here. This is the ASC chip. This is the last of this size PLCs. Okay. Y'all see that? The flux is almost finished. So we are going to see version 5 coming out on a version 3 board. Nice and clean, look at that. Cool. All right, let me see what message that was because I'm expecting some. I asked the AC guy to come fix. Okay. After many hours. All right. Now I got one AC that is not that's acting up a little bit, and um, happens to be the one in my bedroom, and ask message the AC guy that's around the corner to see if he can come check it for me. All right. So this is the ASC chip. Do I have enough flux in here? Yay! I do. All right, let's just place this on here now, and then a lot of the tops of these legs are a bit green. All right, I'll clean that once it's soldered. It helps me if it's secured. Hey, let's go. Here we go. Here we go. After this comes the FPU. So far the boards are fixed and all that. The feedback I'm getting from the owners after watching their video is that they're very pleased and happy that their boards have been repaired, and especially the reloaded one for Sweden. He was very amazed at how seeing the progress of a PCB becoming a full-blown computer. Okay, let's see. Just trying to get some of this green off. See, with it secure, I can scrub it harder. Okay. All right, so that's it for those chips. And let's see where. Just had to order some more stuff to come for things I'm making. Let's see here. Let's see here. Okay, no. All right, FPU time. That's not corrosion. That's just flux. Dried up old stuff. You see. It smells like that chip quick, and that stuff when it dries, man, it dries with like a shield on it. It actually dries with like a hard crust. Chip quick, I think was the name of it. I don't like that flux. Sorry, chip quick people. Apologize for it. That's just my opinion and my taste and my 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 words, my choice. Okay. All right, so I'm pretty comfortable with putting this on. Let's hope I have enough flux in this tube. Yay. need some writing for me to see how it looks. Okay. All right, let's put this on. Again, now this is a revision 3 board, so it's the pads on this are a lot smaller, as you can see. So what I like to do is I like to be able to see. I'll overshoot it like actually this, and then put down the solder, and then bring it back. Now that's just for me to get the first one down. Then I'll go to this side, and I probably do the same thing, but this time I twist it. You see, like this, and then I twist it back, and then that gets it in place. See, so now that's at least secure enough that now I can start dragging the rest, or attempt to drag. See, I can't see pads, so I'm doing it blind by trying. I don't think that's a bridge. I think that's just flux in between. Okay. When I'm done, I'll hang this off the bench and we'll see. All right, for sure, I see some bridges here. Okay, that looks okay. Let's get over here to the other side. Almost done with it. All right, let's hang this off the edge and take a look. Okay, yeah, you can see that first pin there is not soldered. Why is this with the first pins? Or is it because I thought I used those to secure it and I just skipped them? all good, no bridges. And no bridges. Okay. So we are pretty good with those. This chip here, I may just solder this one on. This is the small PLC that goes right here. It normally does not fail, so I really haven't had them fail. But we'll do a socket for it. All right, but before that, I need to do the CPU socket because all right. CPU, here's my CPU socket. And that goes into like that. Okay, now reason why I do that in this order is because of the height. Because now this is the same height as all of the PLCs that I just finished doing. So when I flip it over to have for me to solder it, it sits nice and flush and everything, and it pushes correctly down. Okay, so let's get it secured. I might buy another stand for my microscope. I still just secure the two corners, and then I'll heat it up and push. That's hot. So that I still know it's well secured. I'm trying to put as much of this into your view so that I know where I'm at. Oh, that's the last row. Okay, so how far down can I go? Right here. All right, let me mark it. That's half of the chip. Well, half of the socket for the chip. All right. I like my pins to be soldered with just like the right amount of solder. I don't like it overdone, where they sit like big old fat things, like me, where where they sit very plump on the pin. Okay, CPU socket is in. There we go. All right, let me get the sockets. I have two of them right here. Uh, so if we look at this, this is the socket that's gonna go here. Just like that, you see? Now, before most of these are put on with like a heat plate, or heated from the bottom and with solder paste. But I don't have that luxury because I already got the bird seat on the board to do that. Okay, so my other option is to still use solder paste and hot air. The reason why is because the melting point for solder paste is 183 Celsius. These sockets can withstand, I mean, their melting point is not, they're like 280, 290, almost 300 degrees Celsius. So there's quite a bit of difference, and I've tested it and I've done some already, and it works. Okay, so the thing is to put some solder paste on these. Let me get some of this old solder paste out first. And I'm not worried if it's not too perfect. Okay. Okay. So now that's sitting on there. All right. And I'll take my hot air and I'll lower the temperature onto like 270. You know, if it melts it, now I've had some that melt, I've had some that don't. Okay, so it's a hit or miss thing a lot. So I'm waiting for it to get nice and toasty. And now I'm just gonna start applying some hot air to this. Now it's gonna take a little bit of time because the pad and the pins and everything and the board has to get warm. But as you can see, the plastic is not melting. Okay, it does take a little bit of time because it's got a lot to get hot. It will come, trust me. But you can see that the socket has not melted at all yet. I gotta find the right sweet spot, and I'm still working on the testing of it. There, now it's starting. It's finally starting to flow. I saw a little bit of movement there. There it goes. See the top up there? Oh, come on. Still got this one here that hasn't melted. Most of the other ones have already, so come on. It's not. This is really not the best solder paste I have. I just bought a cheapo thing off Amazon that I used before. Okay, there it finally went. Okay, so that's all soldered on. I'm gonna come back. I'm just gonna let it cool off for a few minutes, and then I'll come back and test the pins. Okay, so now I'll come back here. You see, and that's secure, and nothing melted on the socket. You see that? Nothing on the socket melted. So I can practically take that chip now. Let's make sure it's got no bridges because I've done that before. When I put one of these in and I had a bridge underneath and I didn't see it, and the machine would not boot. That's in there nicely. Now, with these small sockets, that doesn't matter, okay, as much. I could have cut out the inside and put it in. What happens is that um, this is not gonna bow out. If you have a bigger socket, like for the glue, and you cut out the inside and then you go solder it, what happens is that it loses its actually integrity. And it loses its integrity, and the edges bow out. They and then it doesn't make contact. The chip doesn't make contact with the legs in the socket, well, with the pins, and then you don't get contact. Okay, so you can see how that now has nice contact all the way around. It's on there, good and solid. Okay, so now let's go do this other one. Now I did up my temperature because that original setting of 270 wasn't working. I'm up at 320. Okay, but I think that a lot of that is because my hot air is not as good. Um, the it could be my hot air thing because it's not a high end one. I have a very basic. I have a very basic unit. I want to clean this off good. I'm gonna put on some more on them and see if that may help my flow. Now, to speak about this method here, I I was I was leaning this way. Had this on my mind, but I was waiting for my solder paste to come. And while I was doing that, I don't remember the name of the channel, but he released a video of the same thing, and I have to give credit to that person, that channel. I don't remember the name right now. I'll probably link. I will link it in my description, and that gave me the confidence to go ahead and try it. So so let's give credit to where it's due. Um, Basically, he gave me the confidence. That video gave me the confidence to go ahead and try this and experiment with it. Okay. I, why can't I just leave alone? Leave it alone, right? All right. Yeah. Here we go. Let's do number 2. Again, yes, I am sitting. Let me see what my temp is. Actually, higher. I'm at 324. But each socket will melt at different temps, so you gotta know. Maybe I need to put the other nozzle on. That's a bit narrower. It's coming. I can already see it bubbling some. It's starting to go. Yes, come on. There we go. There's one went. 2, 3. Looks like with more solder on the pad does better. Three gone already. Come on. Come on. 4, 5. Yay. Let me get these up here. Ay, crap. Okay, good thing I can fix that. Those are the things that you learn. Trial and error. You learn it, and you have to know how to handle the mistakes. Hey, I need to use something else that's longer to push that down. because this is a much lower temp. Let me go up a little bit. Yeah, I'm worried about there. I may have to redo this one. Okay, that one went okay. That was starting to melt good. Okay. Okay, I think that should be it. Yep. That one is loose. I think it just cooled down. No. Again, this is still a learning progress. Need this to flow. I'm on flow. There you go. There you go. A little bit more. A little bit more. Perfect. Bingo. Okay. It may look like it's more time consuming, but it keeps the socket intact. And like I said, for these small ones, maybe it's not that critical. It's just I don't like soldering these chips. And a lot of times these chips, because the pads are so small, and they fail a lot. So Okay. Okay, let's get this last one on. And I forgot about this. I may have to remove that other one. I forgot that I need to offset it a little bit, damn it. Let's try and see. I can't promise it will hold. Because you see, that side is not really on the pads that much. I forgot with these bigger sockets, I need to offset it a little bit. The top is already connected. I could probably go up a little bit more in the temp. I need that one there to melt. Come on. I wanted to cool off a little bit so I can test them. Okay, we're good. So folks, that is using some solder paste. I know it's like time consuming, but on a bigger socket, it makes more sense than on these little ones. I don't like how that one looks. I don't know if I can. Of course, my iron went to sleep. I want to just touch that and see if I can get it to flow a bit better. Okay, that's nicer. Okay, so those are on there good. And we have sockets ready. So now I'm going to do the capacitors because they're the next thing in height. Now, one of the things with the capacitors is that you can also use heat and actually solder paste. So, but the thing that I don't like is that sometimes the actually capacitors get toasted. So let me get capacitors. I just hit my head on the camera. See, now I'll do one of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. I wonder why one is missing. These look bigger. I'm going to do one here with solder paste so you can see how that goes. All right, what just happened? My nozzle just become plugged. And that nozzle is so tiny. Or did it dry up in there? Yeah, that nozzle is plugged. Now here I put a bit larger amount. And keep that far away from the... These are bigger caps. I'm only doing this as a test to show you. I'm not going to do them all this way because it takes so long. Everywhere else, liquid is already bubbling. All right, I'm not gonna do this with solder. I don't want to raise the temperature. I mean, I could do it quick and raise the temperature. Plus, these caps are too big. These are the bigger size. Let me put these back, and I'll get the right size. Okay. Okay. I don't know if I have enough flux in this syringe for this. It just ran out. I'm just putting these on the board so then I can. These last three, I need to get some more flux to put those. Okay, here we go. Yeah, I think those were type D cap, that type D. Can't remember if a D is bigger than C, but one of them is type D and the other is type C. Okay, so let's get the other side of these. Here. That looks like it doesn't have any solder. Okay. All right, let's get some more flux now. I'm gonna grab the Series 5, well, the version 5. All right, I'm just getting out the nozzle. Okay, so this is the, I don't know, V5, stereo V5 Tachyflux. So let's give this a shot and see. I know. First impression from it is it seems a bit more, not so, it seems a bit more firm. I mean, you'll see it here, like you see it there, and it is clearer. Clearer is a nice thing. Since there's only 3, I'll go ahead and hit that side without having to flip it. Getting a bit hungry. I knew my temperature was wrong. I could see it by the way it was flowing. All right, so those are on. Let's do some more of these small things that we can do. I have a crystal right here I need to put on. I have back here some fuses I need to put on. Okay. I really don't have a smell on this flux. It's like odorless. That's nice. And it's a bit clearer, so oh shoot, that one rubbed off. It's a bit more tacky, if you since they call it tacky flux anyway, so the tackiness is a bit better. All right, I do have. Let's put in this crystal. Let me see. This is the AC guy. So the board came without this crystal. Good thing I have new ones. They're hard to buy. It's actually NOS. It's old stock because they don't really make these anymore, I think. All right, and I have one more crystal to put on, which is oscillator, which is this one up here. I was able to find some that will fit right here, but they are tiny. That flux looks pretty. It looks nice. And you'll see what I mean in a minute by a tiny little sucker that needs to get soldered on his board right here. Look at that. That's it. See? I mean, we made an adapter board. I made an adapter board. I can go here with a smaller one on it with a SMD type on it. This one is a bit bigger. And I have these that can go in here also. All right, the other stuff are a bit bigger, so now come the other sockets. Let me throw these two chips in their sockets. Now again, let me reiterate. I mean, the socket there was very time consuming to put that on, but that's because really for these small ones, it doesn't matter if you cut out the inside. Okay, but for the larger ones, what happens is that the sides here then start bowing out when you go solder it on or so forth. So you lose some of the integrity. Interesting. I just noticed that these chips have a different marking on them, and that threw me off. I have the wrong one in here. Okay, because you see these don't say SS. They don't say 26 LS30 on, but that's the same thing. And this one is this. Okay, Now I need to get other sockets, but let me run because I'm going to eat and I'll be back. All right, folks, I've come back. Hopefully you can hear me there. Yeah, okay. Um, I did a lot off camera. Um, I finished. I had to take all the stuff off the old board, like these things here. And these are new. This is new, but I had a lot of chips to take out, the CPU and a bunch of things. So I did everything out. I'm about to test it now. And if all goes well, it should boot up. Then I can run TechStep on it. I do still need to connect the floppy, the metal bar back here. That's here, but I need to wire brush this and paint it. So then I got 4 more RAM sockets to put in and the PDS slot to put in. So still a little bit of soldering, but it's at a point where I can test this. So that's basically what I want to do here now. I have my trusty little screen here. Oh, I forgot to connect the audio. Okay, speakers plugged in. The compact card is there, and away we go. Turn on the battery power, and I need normal power here. Ah, we have chime, and we have blinking lights. The screen is more than likely this. Yeah, there. Okay, so we do have that. Um, I need to go unplug again. I forgot to connect Blue SCSI. So Blue SCSI, I do have some of these still available in the store. They come with this nice case like this. That's got a built-in button here that you can push when you go connecting the USB for you to do firmware update. So you don't need to open up the case. That button design comes from Bruce from Branca's Creation and used with his permission. Okay, so what I want to do now is, again, I want to okay, we have blue screen there. Chime. That should go to, yep, there it is. Pointer. I don't see no artifacts on the screen, which is nice. Because I do need to do that bodge to this board. Okay, there's Happy Mac, and we're booting up. Wow, another one saved, another one working. All right, so the external works. All right, I want to try internal. I've been having some trouble sometimes with internal devices working. And there it is. My voltages are good, 11.8, 5.1. Negative 12 volt is not displayed on the SE30. All right, come on. Okay, booting. I had one board that I was fixing. The one, oh, I need to do a video on actually that. Oh shoot, I actually packed the board up for me to ship it back to him already. and I didn't give you all an update on that. All right, I'll have to do an update, but I'm okay. So we are booted up. Now the other test to do is TechStep. TechStep, I don't need screen. I don't need SCSI. And I don't need audio because if you do recall, a lot of stuff on this board is new. A lot of the supporting chips. Now the TechStep recreation, which is what this is, I do have an actually original also. Um, I was making them and selling them, but I sold the last one. Okay, so here we are with this. I don't need anything else. Original ROM is there. How we do this is turn this on, go to SE30, test mode, plug in, terminate. Oh, I forgot to plug in this one. This is the audio. Okay, communication established. And logic all. So yes, I need to do a little update on one board that I fixed for someone. I already packaged it up and it's ready to go back. So now if this board works, if this passes this test, then I'm gonna wrap up this video. I know I need to solder on a few other little things here, but I'll do that off camera, and it's not needed for me to come back for with a video just for that. I mean, we know the board works, and I already uploaded part one of this. Yeah, Michael. Michael part one. So this is Michael part two. The other one was Brian part one. I need to do Brian part two. Clock fail. Something wrong with this RTC. And I don't have any more of them made. Would be good maybe if I push it down. PRAM passed. Clock failed, but yet I have everything working. Now that is a bit odd. SEC. Okay, whew, that passed. Scuzzy. Pass. Swim. Pass. FPU. Pass. Sound. And 4, 5, 4. Now, I am using an ADB that I had here on my desk, so maybe this ADB is not good. Which could mean why my clock is failing. Oh, it passed. Okay. Failed. Let's try this again. Okay, we're gonna try it again, see if it connects. I do have 2 other ones here I can try. 3 actually. One is a reprogrammed. Failed. Try this one. Failed again. I have a feeling I think I know what it is. I think I know what it is. Oh, let me see where I have one. I don't have one ready made, and the ones I did, I packaged up. Oh. Oh. I have a pretty good idea I know what it is. Zero 42. 042 is the clock chip, isn't it? Yeah. Alright, I have another clock chip here. This is from an SE. Okay, yeah. I have a pretty good idea what it is. So let me get what I need and we will fix this right away. Someone told me to test those crystals and I don't think they will work good. So I'm gonna go back to the old reliable. And solder one of them on here. Okay. 3, 2, terminate. Pass. See? Crystal. Those crystals don't work good. Unless it wasn't soldered on good. Test pass. Alright, let's do everything now. So can't use those little crystals. They don't work well. I'll test it again and see and solder it better. The video. Via. This board is nice. I mean, it's very nice. It's so good. I mean, look at that. It went right through clock and PRAM and now an SEC. Pass, SCSI, test, pass, swim, FPU, sound, and last one will be ADB. Come on. All test pass. Perfect. Great. All right. So I'm happy with this board. And like I said, there's still some minor things I need to do to it. It's just soldering. 4 more RAM slots, which I have them right here. The back metal bar there, I need to clean and then paint it. And I need to solder in the PDS slot. So in other words, this board is basically done. It's operational. Everything passed. I got this, but I need to wire brush this and then repaint it. The RAM, and then also the PDS slot, and then I gotta clean the board. I gotta take off these pieces here. They're meant to break off. JLC puts them on when they have to run this through the SMD machine to solder on the birdseed. So we have a good machine here. This is the old one. So you see, I did leave some chips on that were in bad shape. So, well, I may rescue this from here and these two. The rest is not rescuable. So folks, I'm gonna wrap up this video. This is Michael's board part 2. I'm gonna consider this one done. And then I'm gonna do a short little video for update on Brian part 2 to get his board finalized, although his board is already packed up. But anyway, so thank you for watching, y'all. If you can, give me a thumbs up, please, and be sure to come back and watch more. I will be making more. I got plenty boards to fix. I even have some CI, FX. I've got some analog boards, so quite a bit of things here to go through and get done for people. So this is board number 3 that's done. So three for 3. Actually 4, because I have another one down there that I fixed already, but he also sent me the analog board and the power supply, but I don't have any cap kits, so I had to order those from Console 5. If you want good cap kits and good quality and everything included, be sure to go to console5.com and let Luke over there know that KMac Vintage sent you, and get your cap kits from over there. There's no actually affiliation or anything, or that's just my own opinion. He's got some good stuff. For me, a lot of them I buy in bulk, but for analog boards and that, I don't do too many of them. I buy those as cap kits from him. So, but yes, so that's board number 4. So I've already done 4. I'm gonna finish this one up and then start on number 5. You know, okay. Thank you for watching, everyone, and we'll see you in the next one. Alrighty, bye bye.